This particular question is by Raja Manikam. He's asking, why is AWS so popular in the cloud space in comparison with the Google Cloud or the Pivotal Cloud Foundry? PCF is a platform as a service. As a Java developer, I feel that it's easy to use, just a CF push, does all the deployment activities by means of buildpacks, and it has inbuilt orchestration manager, which is the Garden. But still, why AWS is so popular? That's a very interesting question. I have been using PCF and I have been using AWS in the last few years. I know CF push is very easy. However, imagine a Java developer who is developing an application which is based on a legacy system and he want to move to cloud. He cannot do that with PCF. Let's say I have a WebSphere application and I want to push that WebSphere application onto a containerized platform. I cannot do that with PCF, though build packs provide the same way what containers provide. I cannot build a build pack as an application developer. So if you're from the platform team, the team which manages the Pivotal Cloud Foundry or Cloud Foundry for that matter, they can develop build packs, but I cannot build my own build pack in the way I wanted the image to be. That's where cloud platforms like Google Cloud or AWS comes into picture, and they provide different flavors of customization. So a developer can use different variety of tools from these platforms to leverage and use for their need. The other common usage would be, let's say I want to run a batch processing system. You may not be using batch processing systems in your current implementation of a platform as a service. However, let's say I want to create a ETL job and I want to run it only for a particular period of time. So in PCF, you may not be able to run that as a job because obviously you will have to have a web application kind of a workload or a microservices or a cloud native design pattern in order to run your applications inside PCF. And not many applications are able to refactor like how you guys have done. And that's where AWS comes into picture and says, here we have different variety of options for you to choose from. For example, there are serverless options which you can leverage from, like for example, the AWS batch, or you can have heavyweight processing such as AWS Glue to create your EMR clusters, run your batch processing workloads. Let's say you have big data processing system, you can run these Spark jobs on the EMR cluster and then finally delete these clusters once your batch is completed. So AWS, why is it so popular, is because they were the market leaders. They came into the cloud space much earlier than anybody else, and they have wide variety of features to offer for every type of developer. You're talking as a Java developer, but imagine there are developers who are not developing software which are just Java based. They have other compute intensive operations, or they might require a model where they have to pay only for the usage. The same goes with respect to the database. In PCF, Cloud Foundry doesn't provide a database as such, and you will have to leverage any other cloud-based database. However, in AWS, you still have the luxury to use existing relational databases or NoSQL databases or something equivalent to that, and still leverage the same benefit on what you had been doing in your on-prem based systems. And that's another reason why AWS is so popular, and it is vast. You cannot compare AWS with PCF because platform as a service is just one small offering inside AWS, and AWS provides much more than that. The same goes to GCP. And again, GCP cannot be directly compared with AWS. However, GCP is again catching up. Whatever features AWS has, GCP is also trying to provide the same. But there is no fair comparison when we do platform as a service with AWS. AWS is a cloud ecosystem and PCF is just a platform as a service. So AWS includes infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, function as a service, etc. That is why AWS is so popular.